So that's great. When I showed the areas where we're working and the representation from around the world here at this event, there was nobody from Africa and nobody from India. And just like Chris is going from these amazing high-tech emerging vehicle concepts for the developed world to looking at the developing world, we'd like to take some of the ideas we've been developing south as well. So that will be a mission of ours over the next year. All right, we're going to move into the next section, community engagement and innovation. But before we do that, everybody stand up. Just stretch a little bit. You know, everybody get up. You know, sort of move around, loosen up a little bit. Okay. All right, sit down. All right, we're going to now... We're now going to hear from Luis Alonso. Now, you haven't seen Luis yet, but you need to know that Luis is the driving force between the MIT Andorra project. He's directing this project and is responsible working with our collaborators here in Andorra, and we'll thank everybody at the end, but you know, for putting all this together. But Luis is now going to tell you about the research because he's doing an amazing job, involved in a lot of coordination, but fundamentally Luis is a researcher. He has a PhD in architecture. He won the MIT Technology Award TR35 was one of the recipients. Those are the most talented young researchers under 35. He has over 10 years of experience as an architect, practiced in Madrid, and now he's a research scientist in our group. And as I said, he's the project leader for the Andorra Living Lab project. And he is a good example of anti-disciplinary thinking. So Luis.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Kent. I'm going to do kind of a performance, so don't be scared. You know, if I get lost, I apologize. So let's try. Why not? So, people. We are trying to understand people. We are studying the human dynamics inside of urban areas in order to understand the impact of people in cities. Why? Simple. Because with that information, we build models. Models that help us to make decisions. Why? Because this is how it looks like a community engagement today. How come it looks like this? Easy. Just because the models that they are using, they are based on image. That brings to the community engagement a lot of confusion. Yes, so what if we have a model that is not based on images? What if we have a model based on data, on algorithms, on mathematics, a data-driven model, an evidence-based model? That's what the group is trying to do. So with this data, what we do is we take all the information and we translate it into simulations, like Arnaud and Ronan were explaining before. That simulations can make what-if scenarios. So for instance, if I take a building and I move it here, how is it going to impact in mobility? How is it going to impact in energy consumption? For that, we need data. We need very good anonymized data. So we are gathering through our network of cities, data, telecom data, energy data, social network data. Why? Well, that's very important, because these data are related to people. Each individual has an individual impact in energy consumption, in mobility, in land use. So we look into the global data in order to find patterns, groups of people that have similar impacts. That's very important, because from the experience, we find out three main groups of peoples. We have high-income people, we have families, and we have young entrepreneurs. Why they are important? Because we know that if we mix them together, then you are going to have a more vibrant district. But for that, you need to find out a little bit what what is the perfect mix? Why? Because they are impacting directly to density, proximity, and diversity. These three elements, we know that if you balance perfectly these elements, you can have a more livable, entrepreneurial city. You can have a better quality of life inside of the city. But let's get a little bit deeper on these three elements. Let's see the mathematics. Probably most of you knows that the formula for density is an easy one. It's number of people divided by land area. That's easy. So if we have more floors in a building, we are going to have more people. That's piece of cake. Okay, let's see the next one, because it's a little bit more complicated. So the next one is proximity. You can see the formula? Okay, that's, Ryan can get deeper on that. But at the end of the day, it's not that complex, okay? What we are trying to explain is that a walkable distance of 25 minutes is good for innovation. So with this formula, we are getting the distance between the individual and the land use. That's what the formula is saying. In the top of this, we have diversity. The diversity is based on natural ecosystems. So we are using the Shannon index in order to find out how individuals are impacting in this ecosystem. So human ecosystems are very similar to natural ecosystems. That's very interesting. So these three elements are important because what we do is we make an abstraction of reality and we build a Lego model. In the top of this Lego model, we project simulations. Today, we are combining two simulations, a more static one for the land use and a more dynamic one for the agents-based model simulation. So, but we also make abstractions of density, diversity, and proximity. How do we do that? In the Lego bricks, we push information. We can define how many people are living and working in this Lego brick. And then we have the diversity of the brick. Then we can place the brick in the different places of the table. Then we have the proximity. The density. What can we do with the density? We have sliders. So you can take the Lego brick, put it in a spot, and then you can decide how many floors do you have in that building. Then you have the three factors that brings innovation into a city. Okay, so all that information gets inside of the Cityscope, and it's a lot of data. So we have an output, once that the Cityscope merge all that information, the output that we have is the radar plot. The radar plot is explaining how well are we merging density, diversity, and proximity. That's important. The radar plot has two elements. A blue line that is telling us our starting point. How is the city today, before you make the change? And a green one that is talking about the benchmark, the city that you want to be in the future. The blue is telling us how are we improving our design. We also have 6 different elements, 6 different impacts, 6 different bars that are giving us more fine-grained data. They are giving us the impact in energy consumption, in mobility, and in housing, but also the impact in innovation potential, safety and security, social well-being, and developers' profile. But that's kind of complex. So what we do at the end of the day is we combine all that data in heat maps in the top of the table. And like Ariel was explaining before, the code is so simple. Red is bad, green is good. So around this table, we bring people, and they make decisions with the model. They change, and if it becomes red, okay, that's bad. If it becomes green, that's good. So at the end, the Cityscope is a platform that helps people to make decisions. It's not the computer who makes the decision. It's the people around the table that makes the decision with the data from the computer. It's a community engagement tool. So I want to finish saying, people, thank you very much to all the researchers that during 5 years have been working on this tool. Thank you so much.